Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We have a 4v4 on the Eastern Front. This is Operation Goodwood. Although this is obviously not the actual Operation Goodwood because it would be in France. This is somewhere in Eastern Germany, we can easily assume, as the Soviets push into the fatherland. Let's go through the players. Defending Germany, we have Smokey as Strafdivision, Racco as the Waffen-SS without a commander, Arranged Karma as Panzerdivision for the Waffen-SS. No, not for the Waffen-SS. The Wehrmacht, my bad. And Silver Wolf as the Waffen-SS without a commander. So no commanders from the Waffen-SS players. For the Soviets, we have Mthis. Muru as... I think that's Rifle? Yeah, that's Rifle. Chewie as Motorstrelki. And Tomato Juice as Shock. Oh... That's going to be interesting. Then we'll see what Mthis will go to try and supplement this Soviet force coming onto the battlefield as they push into Germany. Looks like we are going to have some sappers encountering the Sturm Pioneers first by the field point here. The Sturm Pioneers have the superior position here for now, thanks to the sandbags they erected. And they will have some support from the normal Pioneers of the Wehrmacht behind them. Looks like we have both Grenadiers coming in, rather than Straftroops for the most. So we have a Volksgrenadier, a Grenadier, and a Straftrupp. So that's a lot of varied infantry early on, with a lot of different potential. That's good to see. And well, we have the Waffen-SS heading northwards here, having secured the northern fuel. And well, the other Grenadiers is going to fight in the center. Oh, and we're just seeing normal Grenadiers for the Panzer. Very nice to see. Conscripts are streaming onto the battlefield here for the Soviet Union. We also have some Fontoviki coming in behind. As it's a 4v4, I'm gonna apologize by being unable to watch all the combat at once, because 4v4s are pretty big, as might have suspected. But I'll try and focus on the biggest areas of fighting, like around this fuel point down here. It looks like the Volksgrenadiers are smoking it. Conscripts are moving in there to try and stop the capture. And more conscripts are charging in. The Volksgrenadiers giving up. They know what's gonna happen when the smoke clears. Oh, it also looks like that Racco is going for Sturm Division, I think. I'm pretty sure that's Sturm. Oh, but the conscripts are pushing up aggressively. Throwing Molotovs. But just being smart and moving back to our cover. But the Sturm Grenadiers are not. So the Soviets have taken heavy losses, but so have the Germans. Germans are forced to pull back. Let me just make sure. Yes, that is Sturm. Has the other Waffen-SS come for anything? Not yet. So we have a fight here in the center. Grenadiers against a Jeep. We're going in from the front of Vigi here. Oh, it looks like the Germans are taking a lot of heavy losses here in the center already. So Soviets are pushing up very aggressively. And no commander choice down here for the other Soviet player yet. Straftroops to hold them in this building as they're getting support from some Sturm Grenadiers here of the Waffen-SS. Looks like the Germans might be able to hold this town still. As more penal troops are being pulled in here to hold the defense. Forced to fight here in the final days of the war. And well, the Grenadiers of the 15th are doing their best out here in the fields. They have some Aufklärer support, which is providing some supporting fire. At least attempting to. So the Soviets do control the southern fuel here, but the Germans might be able to retake that at some point. We'll have to see. Manpower points being erected here, so the Axis troops can get some more income in manpower. Deep completely destroyed. More conscripts and Fontoviki on the field here. Grenadiers are going to have to pull back. Oh, a Grenadier squad completely annihilated. That's not good. They do have an MD-42 coming up, though. They're going to manage to get a Molotov up, I think. Yep, they are. But the machine gun managed to move. Oh boy, this is going to be intense, I think. Still no commander from the other Soviet player. Mthis here. I suppose Soviets... the Soviets have also secured the northern field here, trying to with them conscripts. Sturm Grenadiers are doing their best though with marksman rifles to try and keep them at bay. The question will be what they will do with that. We also have a command supply half track coming up, so they can set up for a base. There's still no commander pick yet from Silverwolf. He might be waiting for something.
Establish a forward HQ.
Oh, looks like we have an LMG-34 with one of the rounds armed on the Grenadiers. A unique upgrade you can get to them if you're playing as tough. It should not be underestimated. Very many people go for the MG-42, but they're only having 50 rounds is a little bit subpar. Whereas 100 rounds means it can fire for a very long time without having to reload. Much better, I think. So the Storm Grenadiers have at least forced the conscripts to pull back, but if they move out, the conscripts could potentially overwhelm them. I think that's the point.
We are losing territory. Heavy machine gun.
However, they will be supported from the flank here, I think, by 3. No, they're not turning to fire. Molotov going in. They did lose the conscript squad entirely, though.
Death before retreat.
Don't underestimate Storm Grenadiers, they are really good infantry. Very expensive, though, as a starting unit. But as you can see, against conscripts, they mowed him down. Not a Molotov being prepared.
The enemy has killed. Command half-track has been permanently established as a static point.
Germans have laid some mines outside the town. They're fortifying this little emplacement, while the Soviets are doing the same thing. Huh. Still a commander choice from Mthis. Looks like the Grenadiers are being armed with a scoped. Well, actually, it's a vampire scope on the Sturmgewehr, which is actually an infrared scope. And I think only Panzer Division can access that to their Grenadiers. That's their unique upgrade. But it's only one Sturmgewehr instead of 2 as the normal upgrades would be. So it's not as valuable as you would think, but the fact that it has an infrared scope means that it's actually really good at long range. The northern flank is not doing too well here for the Germans. Silverwolf have lost a lot of troops. And he's gone for SS Panzer. Okay. So we have a Wehrmacht Panzer and an SS Panzer on the northern front here. That's going to be a lot of tanks late game if they can secure the fueling comes for it. Panzerjäger's coming out for the central front. Engagements down here outside the town. Oh. And Mthis has gone for tank. Okay, so we have tank, rifle, motor, and shock. Okay, that's a really good mix for the Soviets. If they had artillery in there, they could also have just bombed the Germans to hell late game. Well, technically they still can. They do have shock. Oh, we have some clown car happening. But one Panzerfaust is enough. Well, actually, that's a Panzerschreck shot. The clown car is not as potent in Spearhead as it is in vanilla. Especially because most German infantry actually have some anti-tank equipment, unless they're staff troops or something. Oh, another clown car on the southern flank. Oh, piercing bullets going in. Oh my god, the conscripts might actually make it. And they're throwing Molotov on the Storm Grenadiers. Oh! As a Storm Grenadiers squad, that is only the MG-34 here holding. Soviets also tried to push it on the northern side of the town, but failed. Malonians have been called in to make up the losses of the Storm Grenadiers. And with MP-34s. Maxima is holding the road here, though. Command Luke's coming out here. The Soviets have little to stop it. They have to get close to stop it, but they really have nothing that can survive out in the open at the moment. The Soviets might have to pull back for a while. We do have a flag half-track coming in for the Soviets. Luke supporting the buff SS Storm Grenadiers pushing upwards. The squad has been armed with the Scope Gewehr 43 as well as an MG42. That's one of the potent things about the Storm Grenadiers. They can always get MG42s and marksman rifles regardless of your commander choice. They're still being pushed back by the sheer amount of Soviets, and they dropped the MG42. Molotovs are really effective for denying cover, as you can see. Which is kind of the purpose of them, I think. Also, Pack 40 coming in. So the Germans have set up a... Wehrmacht has set up a forward base inside the town here, intending on holding it. They're also playing some cover out. I wonder what they're planning. They might be planning to set up a bunker here? They are, okay.
Our bunker can now accommodate an
Oh, Luke's got taken out by an AT grenade. They actually managed to get close enough. We also have shock troopers present now. And with SVTs, can be upgraded with a variety of equipment. Black half track moving upwards. That's gonna devastate the German lines. So the Panzerjäger's gonna try and attempt a shot here at long range. Yeah, you don't want to fire at the longest range, that's generally not good. But the Pack 40, I think, got a good shot there. Yep. Oh, the shock trooper's gonna get away with that MG42. That's quite a steal. Oh, no, they got killed down. My bad. They're both down. T-70 on the field for the Soviet Union. Mortar shells landing. I do like the detail that you actually sometimes get unique models to man them. Like if you're Shock Division, it's actually shock troopers manning them. Mortar coming out. Like also for the SS here, it's stormtroopers manning most of the equipment if you're playing a Sturm. This is a nice little detail there. Most Grenadiers have been armed with MP40s, but they're being bombarded heavily by mortars. But I think the Straf Division does have the ability to hold this place a little bit better than the others would. It is a very attrition-based commander sometimes. The 70 is present, but the Pack 40 will make it not one state to stay there. SIS-3 arriving for the Soviet Union. Can also double it as an artillery piece, and it might. Artillery going in on the Soviet front here. Pulled in by the Sturm officer here, actually. The Untersturmführer. So that is SIS. Ah, that was a SIS-3 being used as an artillery piece. Okay. So much is happening. I'm sorry because there's just so much to look at across the whole front. But the Soviets have the fuel advantage. That's gonna be a problem for the Germans unless they can turn it around. But the Pack 40 is doing a good job though. Aufklar moving in to get a shot on the SIS-3 probably. They want to just kill one more guy, but it's gonna pull back and... Can they reinforce from the scout car? Or is there something else they're reinforcing from that I cannot see? Oh, it's probably the... it's probably the truck here. Okay, that would explain a lot. Big Soviet pushes on with like Proudmower. Bolsheviki conscripts officer. Savas being killed though. Panzerbüchse took out the gun on the Quadmower. I think the Germans have secured this little engagement. The MG34 is definitely helping too. But the Soviets made another push up the northern flank here. And the Wallonians and stormtroopers are being burned.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
But I think the Germans might still be able to hold here. We also have Panzer Grenadiers now coming out for the Wehrmacht in the center. Smoke barrage up here by the looks of it. Most of the town is on fire though. Pack 4 here arriving, armed by penal troops. Or manned by penal troops rather. We need to find out what is the unique weapon that the stormtroopers get. Oh, that's right. You get access to PPSHs for the stormtroopers if you're playing as Sturm. Not a bad weapon. And the Germans did actually capture so many PPSHs they began converting them to using German munitions, which is actually why you see the Germans use it a lot. The Germans actually became very fond of the PPSHs they captured. Which I wouldn't blame them. It's apparently a really powerful submachine gun in many aspects. The Staff Division is taking up. T-34 present now for the Soviet Union. Several T-34s coming onto the field. Okay. High explosive shell coming out from the T-34. Didn't penetrate the bushes though. Oh, we have some guards here for the Rifle Division. This is a unique unit only they can get. They can have one up at a time. It's kind of... Oh, It's kind of meant to be like the SS Propaganda veteran squad. They can be armed and equipped for all kinds of situations. Really good unit. We have an engagement up here in the north in front again. Storm Pioneers are trying, but a great assault's going in for the conscripts. Yeah, the northern front is not doing too well here for the Germans, but they're trying their best. Germans are just holding on, and they're doing a good job at that at least. Like, it's a good defensive line. The T-34s are threatening the flanks of the fields. I'm liking to see that there's like a Waffen-SS supporting a Wehrmacht on each flank. That's a nice little detail. Means there are a lot of mixed German forces. Staff is taking up for vehicles. Command Stuk is present to try and give some kind of vehicle power for the Wehrmacht, but all these T-34s could be a problem. Although we do have a Panzerjäger here waiting. Very good position for an ambush. Nice to see. But the Pack 40 is keeping them at bay for now. Looks like the Stormtroopers are just being armed entirely with Sturmgewehrs. Something you do normally see. It's a very costly upgrade. 100 munitions, but it's generally worth it. Especially because you can make them very, very efficient at killing people. Let's see. It looks like we are getting a lot of artillery set up here for the Soviets to bomb the town. Using the Cis-3s and the mortar. I don't want to be used to use flares and the Cis-3s do the killing. Okay. That's actually a very smart way of doing it. Generally, people need to utilize the Cis-3 more. The Soviets, after all, have a lot of versatility in many of their units. They can multitask, or multi-purpose rather. Let's see, the Guards have actually been armed with Simonovs, which is actually the predecessor of the SVT. If you didn't know, the SVT, the Soviet semi-automatic rifle, was actually fully automatic before, but it actually could break the gun because it was fully automatic. So they had to limit it to a semi-automatic weapon. Man, there's lots of artillery going into the town here. That's assault artillery. Oh my god, the town is just completely gone. Oh. So there's a lot of troops still trying to push up, but so much of the town is just in ruins now. I suppose welcome to the Eastern Front. EP being manned here by the lieutenant. Now the T-34s are pushing in. Well, the Soviets are doing another push to the field of the Northern Front. Let's focus on the front down here. Because this town seems like it's going to be the key place for a lot of the fighting. Panzer 4H has arrived though to try and help holding it. At least what's left of it. I guess as the Soviets failed to just take it by force, they wanted to blow it up instead to deny it to the Germans and then move into the rubble. How Soviet of them. Panzer 4H will try to hold the front as best as it can. But I cannot get an angle here on the T-34s, I think. Oh, but the T-34s are close enough here to be a threat to the Panzer 4H. But it does reload faster. Now, here's the problem. Yeah, because these guys have no AT weapons, they could not stop or threaten the T-34 from moving up and destroying the Panzer IV. Oh, that was a satchel charge. And more. Oh, that's a KV-1. Oh god, the Soviets are going all in. On the northern front, the fighting over this fuel still continues out in the open. with stormtroopers and panzer grenadiers moving forward with Sturmgewehren against these Odon here armed with the RPD and the bazooka. Lenkorber going in to fight him. Oh, good shot from the Cis-3. Yeah, well, the Soviets keep pushing into the town here. Germans might have to abandon it because they cannot stop a KV-1, I'm pretty sure. You have an SS sniper here in the rubble trying to survive, but you might get shut down here shortly. Oh, good job with that Gewaltladung. That's gonna buy them some time. Yeah, stormtroopers are being pinned by all the machine gun fires from the tanks.
Infantry group are lost.
And the sniper also died there by the looks of it. Yeah, the German position is in big trouble. Looks like we have some stormtroopers being derated to the south here from the Panzer Division to try and support.
Now underway.
Oh, he's actually fully upgraded his veterancy. They arrive at free veterancy. That's really powerful for a stormtrooper squad. The new Kampfkraft Center makes Germans a lot more viable late game because if they replace the losses, they can arrive in at veteran.
Panzer IV battle group ready for deployment.
This T-34 still goes in trouble. And now with the KV-1 and the T-45 Ace. That's a lot of power. So we have Stukas arriving as well as another Panzer IV. Stukas might be planning to bombard the remains of the town here. Yeah, close range bombardment. Probably aim for the KV-1 and all the clump of Soviets. Oh, good shot on the KV-1! Killing it. That might create an opening here for the Germans to make use of. But there's an 85 Ace. And that's all they need. Stolen Panzerfaust going out. Well, on the northern flank here, the Panzergrenadiers are still desperately trying to secure the fuel. But the lack of cover here is just making it very difficult. Artillery has been called in by the Stuk though, rapid response by looks of it. The Germans managed to secure it. It's impressive.
One of our emplacements is under attack.
And fuel's in German hands. That was a little bit harder than they probably thought it would be. Lots of stormtroopers are present though on the southern flank here. The Wehrmacht on the southern flank lost practically everything, but they're getting a Stu-42 to try and recuperate their losses. Stormtroopers securing their munitions. You should never underestimate munitions in Spearheads. I'd actually say munitions can be more important than fuel can be. Staff teams are not going to last long with all this fire, but they are providing a distraction. That's going to allow the Valonians and the Stormtroopers to try and make their way up here. Cis-3 is opening fire though on the bridge area. They could actually end up blowing the bridge at the end here, and that could actually deny an avenue of approach. But the Valonians and Stormtroopers are coming across. And with MP-34s and the STGs here. Air grenade going in. Soviet officer died. Looks like some 15cm artillery going in. I think the Stormtroopers are going to be able to last long here. Yeah, they see the flamethrower pull back. Stuk G present though. And more Stormtroopers, this one from the Panzer Division. Which I think the upgrade is that they can be armed with a bigger flamethrower, yeah. So you can actually make the Stormtroopers have double flamethrowers if you want. So this Stuk G is setting up for like a supporting position here. But the Cis-3 can open fire. Now, the northern front is still looking like a very bad thing for the Germans. Out here in the open fields, it looks like the Russians are just proven to be superior. With lots of artillery raining in on the German lines. Stu is trying to push up. Grenadiers taking losses. More high explosive. They might actually be aiming in the end to destroy the bridge. But I think destroying the bridge might actually end up being in the Germans' favor, because that would stop the Soviets from flanking around here. So the Red Air Force is flying overhead. Then a KV-1 has arrived.
What do you need?
Oh, and more high explosive Mthis. This is being really well utilized today. Good shot there from the Stu. It's immobilized the KV-1, but it's still in a bad position. But now there's an immobilized KV-1, so that's either good or bad, because it's actually in a position that is a problem. It's able to cover the remains of the town here. But now the Stuk G is coming in with a command tank. But the KV-1 will just switch target. They just need to get one more penetration. But the conscripts are moving up here. The KV-1 is refusing to die. Like a KV-1. Artillery going in here in the German positions again. T-54 85s preparing on the northern front. The Germans might get overrun here shortly. There's just not enough resources to go around for the Germans. There's some grenadiers are gonna try and push up here. Don't have any Panzerfaust though. Oh, they took out the gun. The KV-1 is not as much of a threat anymore. Give it a force pushing on the northern front here. Pax will try to hold them. And T-54 85 seems to get out of there. Nope, Stuk got a kill. KV-1 is down. Germans are taking the chance to move up. They have to try and hold this town at all costs. They cannot allow the Russians to get across this, I guess, this train track? An 85 ace though is going to be a problem. Oh, good shot and good fun flasher right there. But heavy artillery going in and destroying the 85 ace. Sturmtiger is being prepared by the Sturm tactics, because of course it is. Now I think I've stated before, I don't know if it's possible, but I would kind of love if the artillery abilities on the officer and the buffs only occurred if the officer model himself is alive. Which would actually mean that people would probably not rush the officers up to the front as like almost a sacrificial lamb to just call an artillery strike and then retreat. Because if the officer model would end up dying, they would be unable to do their abilities. I think that would be a cool thing, but I'm not sure it's possible in the Combat Appears 2 engine to mod that in. Anyway, that's just my own suggestions and ideas. Now the Stu will provide a lot of good anti-infantry support here. The Germans might be able to take the fuel here. Well, the B4 is being set up, but it might be bad time. Oh, they're actually going to self-destruct it. Oh no, they're not. They're going to turn it. And they also notice a Stone Tiger. Yeah, they're trying to turn the KV-1, the B4, I think, and it's just taking a long time. Stu keeps pushing. They might want to self-destruct the B4. Oh, they're turning it. They might want to go for a direct strike, but looks like the 85 Ace might have saved them. But there's still a lack of troops here to defend it. And it would be kind of a waste to fire a B4 salvo or just a B4 shot here without any tanks to kill. It is a very costly thing to fire, after all. Looks like the Red Air Force is circling overhead as the Soviets push through the fields now. As Odon troops are pushing forwards here. The Germans have somehow neutralized the point there again, but they're losing a lot of men in the attempts. Panzer Grenadiers are gonna have a hard time here. Odon are really good infantry. And they'll definitely pin down the Panzer Grenadiers here. '85 might win engagement. It most definitely will. It just got the kill there. And what looks like we have a... Oh, Sturmtiger shot right there. That might just have bought the Germans some time. And the B4 is wasting its salvo down here. Oh, that's kind of bad. Yeah, it's still firing. Because the first firing probably in this area. Yep, they wanted to try and destroy the 85, but it got away. The 85 Ace is still threatening the front line. We have the guards coming up. The veteran guards, I mean. But out in the open against a machine gun like that, they're gonna get mowed down despite being elites. Elite infantry are just as squishy as other infantry, remember that. Just because you're a better soldier doesn't mean you can magically take more bullets. And the SIS-3s are just continuously proving to be such a good investment for the Soviet Union. It's such a good ability. And only for 25 munitions. Basically all your AT guns can just become an artillery piece. It's such a useful ability for the Soviets to have. As again I said, the Soviets are a very versatile faction. Many of the units can do several different things. That's a grenade, I think. Yep. Soviets have secured more and more ground, so German position is again in peril. I don't know what that was about. I just saw the guy crawl in and out of it. I guess he probably reloaded it, so it's just waiting to have the munitions to fire it. It is very expensive to fire. You need to use 150 munitions on it. That is not cheap. Actually, he has not even reloaded it. He might have cancelled the reload. You have some guards here for the other division, some motor strelki, motorized infantry. Generally very good frontline troops. They've been armored double DPMs. Very potent combination. SIS-3s are once again proving to be very good investments. Artillery being called in on the German positions again. This town is once again in peril. Now the Sturmtiger is being reloaded. Oh yeah, the Waffe says Panzer Division lost their forward place there, but Veteran C3 Command Panther coming in. I assume thanks to the Kampfkraft Center? Yes! So they used the Kampfkraft Center to get like a Veteran C3 Command Panther out the gates. That is a really, really good thing to have. That's gonna make that really powerful. And really potent. HG-76 and T-70 coming into... Oh! Alongside the naval infantry. Okay. The Soviet naval troops. Very interesting. There was one in the Soviet naval infantry because the Soviet Navy didn't really see much action to my knowledge. essentially deployed kind of to be like shock infantry. The Scissors did a good job there on the command panther. It has to pull back. Meanwhile, the town here, this is the Soviets are preparing for another push. KB1 leading the charge, and B4 fight into the town. So now the Soviets are going to overrun it again. But these stormtroopers behind here just getting a lot of kills. But it's not stopping the Soviets from taking the town. This town has seen so much fighting, it's cool to see. But the bridge is almost out. This Panzer IV might be in trouble. It's just it can penetrate it if it's lucky. But I think the Panzer IV might actually win out. Yeah, it does. Okay.
Infantry is now available.
But the Soviet naval infantry is present now, having been armed with PPSHs.
Ready to deploy.
Man Panther is operational. We have a King Tiger. Holy shit! I did wonder why we did not see many tanks, or well, any tanks at all from the Panzer Division apart from the command ones. It's because they got a freaking King Tiger! That's gonna be a problem for the Soviets to deal with. Yeah, well, the town here just continuously a mess. Stukas and Mthis is getting many kills. The Red Air Force is coming in. It's gonna threaten these heavy tanks. They have to split up. Looks like it's going for the King Tiger. They need to get that thing operational quickly. Doesn't look like the Red Air Force did a lot of damage to it though, so the King Tiger is mostly ready already again. The 85 actually has a good chance of penetrating it, but they have to be careful. This thing has already been armed with a Panzer officer instead of a machine gun. So it'll have longer sight range. Its own of this. That's not bad sight range right there. Also there's Panzer Grenadiers nearby. Pack 4 has been manned by the Soviets. The man path pushing up, but Pack 4 is getting good penetrating. Explosive going in from the King Tiger here. Probably. Oh yeah, good shot right there. But yeah, this King Tiger is going to be quite a problem. Well, the southern flank here, the ruins of the town is still just a mess. Heavy artillery going in. IS-2 for the Soviet Union. Holy shit, like the two heavy tanks are just on opposite sides of the battlefield though. That's so cool though. Looks like the King Tiger is taking some hits here. But the IS-2 is, I think, quite uncontested at the moment. It just needs to move in. Because the Stafftopen don't exactly have AT weapons. But I guess he wants infantry support for it first. And well, the King Tiger is just slowly taking more and more hits, but surviving it all. Command Panther is nearby to support it. The AT guns are just not enough to penetrate the King Tiger. Because if the naval infantry was planning to flank, they're actually still dealing with some stormtroopers here. There's only one naval troop infantry left. Oh, but they mowed down those stormtroopers. King Tiger has to pull back for repairs. Udon moving up to try and get some cheeky shots on it. And also spotting for the AT guns, I think. sappers up here threatening the flank of the German position. But the Panzer Grenadiers will stop that evidently. Oh, that bridge is very dangerous to be on. IS-2 and KV-1 ready to move. B4 is firing. And it destroys the bridge! Oh god! That's either good or bad for the Germans. It will prevent the Surds from getting across. It will also prevent the Germans from getting more troops that way to try and flank into the town. I guess it's a matter of what you think, who has the advantage with that. And well, the King Tiger and the Panzer Grenadiers are slowly creeping up. A counter-attack here being ordered. 85 trying to get a good shot at the King Tiger, but I don't think the King Tiger cares. Yeah, it indeed did not care. I think the IS-2 might have to relocate to the northern front. Because the rest of the allies will need the help of an IS-2. His Panzer Force there. Oh, it actually got a penetration, but in return it dies. Attrition and then and the King Tiger almost killing it. We do have to have double Katusha here for the Motor Division. Lots of penal troops here for the Germans. They're just desperately pulling anything in they have, I suppose. Sturmtiger is also present, just waiting to fire.
Command unit is ready to be deployed.
Just checking what's going on here. Oh, another IS-2 is coming. Hopefully that one will head northwards. Satchel charge on the KV-1 killing it.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
Yeah, the penal troops might not be enough here. Without the Kettenhunde, they just aren't performing as well as you'd think. They really need someone to instill discipline in them. King Tiger's being repaired again. They need that thing to just stay alive. Because the Soviet officers are calling in the Red Air Force again. They're doing all in their power to try and prevent the King Tiger from being operational. Oh, and there goes the tracks. That's a bad thing for it. I don't think there's much here to take advantage of it. But the assist guns are definitely proving their worth today. IS-2 loading heat shells. Or high explosive shell, I think. No, I think it got cancelled actually. Yeah, double IS-2. That is a lot of firepower. Ostwind coming out, probably to help deal with the Red Air Force. Also Ostwind for the Panzer Division, so double Ostwind, that's a lot of anti-air. But double IS-2, that is that's specking. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, it's very late on recording this time, so I apologize. Oh, the 85. Oh, that's his feet that got a penetration. The King Tiger is just not having a lot of luck. But two IS-2s will definitely just be begging to be hit by Stukas. Well, it looks like one IS-2 is actually relocating to the northern front. They probably realized that they need a heavy tank to face the King Tiger. Velocity Pan for coming onto the field. Oh my god, the Kampfkraft Center is gonna make the Panzer Division here really potent. This is the power of the Kampfkraft Center you want. Do not forgo your upgrades in it. I know it can be costly, but it can really make you powerful late game as a German. Oh, and the King Tiger's gonna go to face the IS. And I think at this range with the Panzer Officer, yeah, the King Tiger will be able to outrange the IS. But the IS definitely needs to be careful here. More and more done infantry out here, probably not performing in the role they want to perform in. I also perhaps think that Odon should probably be limited to two at a time, instead of just being able to just recruit them. Oh, I can't take a good shot. Got a good shot on the IS. I think the IS has to pull back. Panthers are pushing. That's a lot of sisters here. And a KV2! Holy shit. Also, the Panthers are very clumped up. One KV2 shot and I could immobilize both of them. Boston has to be careful. It's not as strong. Well, not armored, rather.
The squad of pioneers has arrived.
But the King Tiger has definitely proven to be quite powerful here. IS-2 KV-1 still fighting the ruins of this town. Man, this town is just... so many have died in it. So it's a threat in the northern flank here again. The Panthers are trying to stop them. Ooh, Molotov on the Panther. Might want to get out of that. And that's why you get the Ostrins. It'll help deal with the enemy air. Panzer Grenadier is pushing forward to support the King Tiger. 85. Oh, destroyed the Ostrins. Good he went for that target. Because there's no way he would be able to deal with the King Tiger. Soviet infantry are wanting to get over and try and flank, but I think this Panzer Grenadiers might stop them. Artillery is going in, though, being called in by this officer. Looks like it's a bombing strike from the Red Air Force.
A squad of infantry has been killed.
But the King Tiger didn't see it coming. Big bomb, though.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Man, lots of Soviets are coming forwards here. Katyusha's opening fire too. Forcing the Germans to make it to fall back here. Regroup for a short bit. But the King Tiger is almost ready to C4. We just gotta make it exceptionally dangerous. Oh my god, if they can get this range to veteran C5, it's gonna be nigh invincible. But they should not be too foolhardy with it. It is still just a tank. And if an IS-2 can get a good shot on it, it's practically dead. Russians are gonna rush up to throw anti-tank rates. No penetration so far. Penetration! Almost killing it! IS-2 is trying to open fire and kill it. Lost sight. And in return, the King Tiger's gonna open fire. Looks like the IS-2 is gonna get out of there though, but both IS-2s have relocated to this part of the front. The town is somewhat in German hands again. Wow. The ruins of this town is just going back and forth. Surprisingly, there's no Volkssturm, so I guess we're not in a very desperate part of Germany, I guess. Oh, this IS-2 might have to do it.
Command squad on the field.
He just needs to penetrate once. And then the Katyusha's firing in too. So far, no one is penetrating one another. The King Tiger is being very risky just staying there. He should not be staying there. Oh, I hear the B4. And that goes.
We are suffering losses.
He should have pulled back long ago. That is a painful loss right there. And the we only still have the command Panther, but Panther got destroyed by the second Panther is being called in. But I think that's gonna break the Germans shortly. I don't think they can keep this keep up the defense. Oh, we do have Kettenhunde now.
Infantry ready for
That's probably also why the Peanuts probably perform a little bit better. Listen, the Soviets have given up on the town though. There's nothing left of it. It's been completely leveled. Well, apart from this side of the bridge, anyway.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
But the Soviets have just been able to destroy and threaten the Germans so much here. This kind of shows the power of the Soviets in a 4v4. They can just completely overwhelm any opposition. And this is kind of what it should feel like, in all honesty. The Soviets are kind of meant to be terrifying to face. Panzer Grenadiers are moving forwards against the Odon. I still say that the Odon should be limited to 2 on the field at a time. They might be a bit too good after all. Then Cowboy is killing them, choking them to death. Oh, they remanned the Ostwind, but that's gonna get it killed. Double pan for Kampfgruppe here moving. Panthers might be going for an attempt at a flank here. Oh, good shot on the IS. But the IS will be able to penetrate a Panther, I think. Jim's just lacking in stuff at the moment. A desperate German defense here. Oh, good shot from the Stu, but now the Katyusha is opening fire.
Our brave infantry is dying.
And a ranged Karma barely have anything left, so the Wehrmacht Panzer Division is on its last knees. The Panthers are doing a decent job though, moving around. The Panthers are very mobile, which makes them very useful. Generally, a very mobile tank is very good, a very good thing to have. That is a 100mm AT gun though. And that completely destroyed the Panther in one shot. And that's the power of the Soviet Union once again being proven. Room Bear being prepared. Oh, not a lot for the Germans. Soviets soon have the ability to just overrun them. They could technically already get some more infantry and probably just run in. PPS-80s here are able to suppress alongside the DPMs. Panzerknacker on the KV-1, it's gone. Storm SEGA has to be very, very careful. We have an IT-122, not 152. So it's a tad small. I think it's the same gun on the IS. Because I think the IS has a 122mm. Which is pretty fucking big, by the way. I could be wrong. It might also just be this one, the 100mm, but I'm actually pretty sure it's a 122mm from what I remember. Which is ridiculously big, by the way. Actually, I think, can I check that? Yes, 122mm. I was correct. But my brain did not fail me for once. Oh, and the IS is just getting killed here. Oh. The IS is such a dangerous weapon for the Soviets to have. The Germans no longer have tank superiority at all. Of course, the IS has to hit. But a Sturmtiger shot will kill it. Here it goes. Yep, and directly on that, I'll definitely kill him. You're not gonna be able to survive a freaking 38cm rocket. That's 380mm. That's whew, that's a big explosion. Big boom boom. You know, I'm honestly surprised the Germans are still holding on. Because they barely have anything left. Second King Tiger though, wow, okay. IS-2 is going to be able to open fire here.
Political officers
Oh, the shock troopers are just mowing down everything with their PPSH just here in front of the building. Yeah, don't underestimate shock troopers with 4 PPSHs. That's a very lethal combination right there. I actually think that makes them entirely... No, they do have 1 SVT still. So 5 PPSAs and an SVT, that's a lot of firepower still. But under King Tiger. And the Germans are just pulling everything out to defend these fields. And the IS-2s are gonna be pushing up with some T-34 support. B4 is opening fire too, oh god! B4's already killed 77 units. But the Sturmtiger is still threatening wherever it can. This time the IS-2 survived. And that's a big problem. But that's a German... Oh, that's not the howitzer, that's a Brummbär. Brummbär, whatever you pronounce it. Stupa is what the Germans called it. They never actually called it the Brummbär themselves. Oh, good shot there from the 85 Ace. Stuk is in trouble. Yeah, at this range, the KV-1 can penetrate with ease.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
So far, the Stuk is actually doing okay despite everything. I guess his low silhouette is helping him, it being harmless ahead. Stuks are actually a very economical choice. They actually survived. Like, never underestimate Stuks. If you can actually entrench them at a good position too, they can be very hard to deal with. I also personally think all German commanders should have the ability to entrench. That's just my own opinion, because I don't think all German commanders can actually do it for some reason. Which just seems a little bit off to me. Because entrenching your tanks should be a very German thing, especially late war. The K-Tagger's moving forwards again. Lane Corpus going out. They're gonna kill the flamethrower squad here with these. Oh! Another shot here from the ISs. They're flanking. And, well, that was the XD-85s, but that's the problem with going for heavy tanks. They are a very costly investment. They can generally backfire. That's the problem with German Wunderwaffe. You generally can actually underperform a lot. So you might actually just be better at going for some economical choices. Like the Stuks here. Like, look, the Stuks are actually doing a good job. Who would have guessed? Of course the Stuks will do a good job. This is like one of the best, statistically wise, German vehicles just by sheer amount of numbers of them and what they were able to accomplish. They actually started replacing Panzers and Panzer divisions late war just because they were cheaper to build and now basically just as effective if used correctly. Just because it has a turret doesn't mean it's bad. But the IS-2s will cut through them. But the Stuk is getting penetration shots. And the Stuk does fire fast. But IS-2s is just a caliber above their weight. And the IS-2 probably gonna fire again. And there it goes, yeah. 122mm shell is just gonna make the ammunition inside the Stuk cook off. I'm not sure what the Panzer division is gonna do next because they've lost so much of the SS and the Wehrmacht ones. Oh, that squad got annihilated by flak. Looks like Katyushas are going into this ruined town again. They might be aiming to try and take out the Stukas of Fus, but that thing has been very sneaky. KV-8 this time. Oh god. 100mm AT gun going up here too. Double ISS is still being repaired fully. What are the Germans going to do against a KB-8 in this kind of environment? They need mines. The Pioneers are just being roasted here.
Sniper has arrived.
Oh, Geballladung. But it did not immobilize it. The student team should probably not waste a shot on this. It's just one unit. He needs to get out of that. Oh, good ammo rack there from the Stuke. Wasn't the flamethrower tanks to ignite. That is kind of the problem of being in a flamethrower tank. IS-2s are making a move for it, but they got jammed. Stuke's first opening fire. Oh, good, right there in the back lines with the Stuke's first. IS-2 down, 85's down, the Stuke's are holding.
We have additional Ostrom available.
But B4 opening fire too. And then Katyusha opening fire afterwards. Despite all, the Germans are still holding. Heat going in the SU-122. Didn't penetrate. Soviets have secured the other flank here entirely, so they could go for the German bases shortly. Just need to get the units for it, and I think that's what these 85s are going to be used for later on. Germans in their desperation are still trying to hold. Sturmtiger shot. Just, well, taking out a KV-1 from the fight, basically. Still there, but it's not going to do much for a while. IS-2 is making the move again. IS trying to get rid of the Sturmtiger, but it's not easy. Sturmtiger is very frontally armored. Beats still did not penetrate the IS-2. No surprise, the IS-2 is exceptionally well armored, but Sturmtiger's fine. And that'll take care of it. This is such a brutal battlefield. Another howitzer now for the shock division. Looks like the Russians are just gonna shell the Germans into submission this time. They have actually pushed very far up, so the Soviets are definitely doing very well here today. Stormtroopers are trying to make a move here, but I think there's just too much here to stop them. Grabbing a DPM though. No more ISs, I guess. I suppose they are just a very costly thing at the moment due to the Sturmtiger. It would be cheaper, it would just be better to get economical tanks. Like T-34s or similar, and then just overrun the German position. As I have said, heavy expensive tanks are generally not better tanks. Having lots of cheap tanks is actually very useful too. Sturmtiger firing again! Oh, taking out the SU-122. Another IS being prepared. So many ISs. But this Sturmtiger is definitely trying to save the German position somehow. They're actually doing a pretty good job of it.
Is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Yeah, the Soviet strike force is slowly preparing. Command Panther is still in the field roaming around. Well, that's actually might be a new one. But the Soviets can just cover the whole battlefield so much easier. Hansman is moving up again, or trying to.
Forward structure under attack.
Oh god, very good job there with the Panzer Grenadiers. Command Panther is in jeopardy, having lost its gun. More Panzers are pushing up here. Throwing anti-tank grenades on the base buildings. Forcing the Storm Seeker to move back.
Mechanized regimental HQ has been
And the bridge actually being cut off is actually a good thing for the Germans. It's allowing them to keep these points safe. Which means a little bit more resource to help in the defense. German base is being bombed. That's where you can actually get the, what's it called? The preventive maintenance, which is actually a very good upgrade you should get early if your base is in jeopardy of being bombarded. It'll help your base just get repaired automatically. That way you don't have to worry about a base bombing as much, destroying your buildings. Yeah, Attrition is just bombing the German base now. The fuck? Why did the Sturmseeker fire on the German base? I am confused. Was this like some internal thing? Are the Germans just playing around now at this point? Because they've technically lost at this point. It's pretty obvious. The Soviets even gonna try and go for repair on the bridge, I think. But there's a heavy mortar here. Another King Tiger? Are you kidding me? We have another King Tiger incoming.
Crew, stand ready.
This is getting out of hand. Tukas doing a good job again, just trying to delay the Soviets. Yeah, he's aiming for the sappers.
Reporting for duty.
Entirely understandable. Oh, good mortar shot there.
Standing by. Yes, comrade.
And here we have another IS. So many heavy tanks in the field today.
Crew, get ready.
Yeah, it ain't looking good here for the Germans. They could perhaps try and set up a trench line here. I also think trenches should actually protect you more from artillery, but I'm not sure how to model that in for those curious. I think that would actually be a cool thing though. Like trenches would actually protect you from artillery. But I'm not sure how they would even do that. 85 is pushing up. And Stormtroopers have only the Panzerknacker as AT. They need the shock troopers to fold them in though. Sturmseeker is fine. Well, fortunately, they only destroyed the engine on one of them. That's exceptionally lucky. That's a lucky RNG right there. The Soviets have gone around here anyway. So the Germans are gonna lose their munitions income. The Man Panther's gonna do its best to try and hold the Soviets at bay. And here we have the third King Tiger. What the hell is going on? More Straftoken being prepared. Even the Soviet base has been set up here now. And the bridge is being repaired, so they're about to encircle the German base at this point. '85 creeping up to get a little bit of a sight on what's going on. And the King Tiger immediately shoots it, dazing the crew, leaving it vulnerable. Find the smoke canisters to buy themselves some time. Yeah, the Stormtroopers are not going to win that engagement.
We have been
Actually, they might. Wow. They somehow... That engagement was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Okay, the Panzer Grenadiers actually won despite being suppressed. I suppose that's the power of Stormtroopers and Sturmgewehren. Big German push here. Well, that's a danger close Katusha. But the King Tiger is buying them some time. Roomba is down though. Panther's covering the flank of the King Tiger, good to see. King Tiger will now spearhead forward. Storm Tiger opening fire. Oh, that's gonna allow the Germans to get some territory again. Wow, the Soviets, not the Soviets, the Germans are going all in on trying to push back here. Shock troopers are mowing down the Panzer Grenadiers though. On our flank though has been left open. The Soviets have secured it. They even sent them 100mm here to tighten the noose. Soviet tanks going in for the King Tiger. Always being dazed. B4 shots are landing around, but he's still winning the engagement so far. Yeah, the King Tiger is just showing why it's such a good tank. Or at least showing its armor is being very powerful. Fury but German. Man, so much is going on this battlefield, holy shit.
Here we go. Get ready to move.
And the Soviets are even making defenses. They're actually talking about me. I feel flattered. I feel exceptionally flattered that people even consider sending these to me. Yeah, it's a little bit of a highlight of my day now that I'm a lot more busy with the internship. That I can get home and record one of these or several of these, and I can just enjoy the rest of my day as I try to relax. It's very nice. It's a very nice feeling to have, in all honesty. Makes me feel like I'm actually doing something that you all enjoy. Just wish the quality could be better and I could have assurance that no technical issues occur. Because I really don't like the technical issues happening.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
This video is sponsored by Viking Shadow Legends. What the fuck? And the scissors are still being used as artillery. Good to see. And more Red Air Forces are coming in to try and destroy these King Tigers. I think that was next. Yeah, that is a bombing run. He needs to move fast. Yeah, he's gonna get out there in time. Actually, the plane got shut down. Wow, okay. And I like that Panther is just staying here. Keeping an eye on the flanks. That's actually really well done.
T-34s now available to replace any lost tanks.
And the Panzer Grenadiers are arriving as veterans free thanks to the Kampfkraft Center. More artillery going in. Lots of artillery going in here. Airstrikes too. They really want to destroy this King Tiger. King Tiger dodged the bomb. And so much is going on here. Artillery landing around the King Tiger too. All it takes is one shell and a shockwave to immobilize it. Panther being very brave here. That's gonna get it's opening up its sights. It did take out the SU-122 though. KV-2 trying to push up. Destroying the command Panther. Immobilize King Tiger out here in the fields. It's an easy target now. But I think the Germans might have the quick means to repair it. At least I hope so for their sake. More Soviet tanks are coming onto the field. This is like a huge tank battle. Oh, Soviet went down to the artillery strike. I think this Soviet airstrike is probably gonna do it. Those pioneers are not gonna get there in time, I think. Oh my god, they might. Oh my god, it needs to move. Oh my god, the Red Air Force is coming in. They got dazed, oh no! And there it goes! Ammo cooked off in the King Tiger. Oh. Yeah, I think this is over for the Germans now. They have lost everything. Sturmtiger's down too from this 85. Seriously, what are the Germans gonna do at this point? And there they go, they surrendered. I hope you enjoyed this massacre and slaughter. I certainly did. And I will see you all next time, everyone. Bye bye.